Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm bringing you guys this beautiful Coquette Kuromi inspired nail tutorial. We are going to be using our Cricut to create that beautiful lace pattern as well as nail stencils for this deep V French tip. And so if you guys are ready to see how I did this, please keep watching and let's get started. Here I am on Cricut Design Space and I'm just going to open up a new project. I do have my nail template with a direct link on my Etsy if you guys needed it. This is the link right here and it takes you directly to my Cricut project. Now all you have to do is just open it in Cricut Design Space and customize. Here in our project we have a set of 3 templates, including long, extra long, and short. I always use just the long set, so I'm just going to delete the ones I don't need. And now our template is ready to go. This direct link is only for Cricut Design Space, and so if you're using a different program, all you have to do is just upload the PNG files that are also included in the Etsy listing. Here we can see this is a PNG file, so the background's already removed. I like to upload it with a print and cut so I can keep the colors. Since it's only a template, it doesn't really matter. And now I'm just gonna upload. Once we add to canvas, this image is way too big, but I do include all the sizings you need in the instructions on the Etsy file as well. And so once we enter our sizing, we can see here our template is ready to go. Starting off on the left hand side, we have our shapes. I'm just going to be adding a triangle. Now we're going to right click and duplicate. Once we have our 2 pieces, we're just going to overlap them just like that. Make sure that you're selecting both triangles, and now we're just going to center horizontally and slice. Now we're just going to delete all the pieces that we don't need just to keep that V shape. I'll be duplicating it since I do want to create, I think, 3 nails with this design, and it'll look just like this. Heading back over to our shapes, now I'm adding just a square to create that lace pattern, and so I'm going to create just a very thin line. I'm basically trying to create an X shape, and so once I rotate it a little bit and like that angle, I'm going to duplicate. And now we're just going to flip it and center. Now that I have this design, I'm just going to make it a little bit shorter like this, and once you're happy, we can just weld it together. And once again, we're just going to duplicate. This one I want it to be running down my fingers, so something like this, and then maybe just add a little bit more accents to the other ones. Now I'm just going to hide my template, and now we are ready to cut. Once we head over to make it, here we have our design, and I'm just going to be moving around my pieces just to make the most out of my vinyl. I usually do increase my project copies to 3, but since I'm only doing one hand, I left it at just 1, and I will be cutting under the vinyl setting. Here I'm just loading up my Cricut with my vinyl, and I am using HTV Ront brand. I always use this one, especially when doing my nails. And once we are done cutting, this is what our vinyl looks like. We have our nail stencils and decals ready to go. To prep my nails, I'm just taking a sanding block and just buffing off the top shiny layer of my nails. I did use a nail gel builder to refill my nail set. Make sure to check out my other YouTube videos where I have full tutorials on how I do that. For today's base color, we are using Born Pretty's Jelly Pink sets. I do love using this set when doing Gel X because the colors are jelly and so super sheer, and therefore our nail glue is able to cure through the light. And so for today, I'm going with this very sheer kind of pink color. It does look a lot like the builder gel that's already on my fingers, but that's fine. I just want to enhance the color a little bit more. Since I want them as sheer as possible, I am only doing 1 coat of this and make sure we cure. To remove any stickiness, I am taking my 91% alcohol and a cotton ball and then just removing the top sticky layer. This is a very important step, especially when using vinyl, since you want it to stick, you don't want it to just fall off. And so here we go. This is what our nails should be looking like. They should just be smooth and not sticky. Next, I'm taking a black gel polish. This one is by Beetles, and I'm going to use this one first to paint my whole pinky nail as well as my index finger, and I will be doing 2 coats on each. Now it's time for our Cricut nail stencils, and I'll begin by just grabbing one. And now I'll just be placing it where I want it to go. Once you're happy with the placement, now we are going to be pressing down and make sure that the vinyl lays flat. Now I'll be taking my black polish and adding a layer right on top of that. Now before curing, make sure that you remove the nail guide. Once you remove it, I find it easier to lift up both sides like this and just go straight through. To fix any imperfections, now I'll be taking my brush dipped in alcohol and just slide it right through. Once the edges are clean, we can cure, and here I'm adding my second coat of black. Now repeat the same steps to the other 2 nails, and this is what we should end up with. This is already looking really good, but let's add some more detail. And so now I'm taking that lace pattern that I wanted to create and just going to be picking up those X's. And I like to just kind of gently place them on top just like that. If I'm working on a pattern, I find it easier to just leave them on like that first, see that you like the placement, and then press them down. Again, we want to make sure that these are nice and flat, and now I'll just be taking a nail clipper and just removing any excess. I'm so glad I made extra excess. Since I really like that lace pattern, I decided to add it to my thumb. To secure our vinyl, we first have to do a base gel coat, and for this I do a very thin layer of base gel over our vinyl. I am doing a base layer since I am adding rhinestones and more stuff on top, but if this was your final design, you would only need a top coat. This is my favorite rhinestone glue. It's by Makart, and I'll be using that to add some bling to my nails. I got all my bling from Amazon, which will be linked in the description below. And so now this is the fun part. We're just going to be taking some rhinestone glue and adding our charms wherever we want. Make sure that you're being very generous with the glue, especially when using big charms like this. If you don't use enough glue, the charms will fall or they'll get stuck to your hair and pull too much. I just love using my Cricut to do my nails. We can get basically perfect designs every time. This nail set took so long since it has the most rhinestones I've ever used. The final and most important step is adding a top coat. Here I'll be using my Beetles top coat and just adding a top layer to all these nails. I like this top coat since it's a non-wipe top coat, meaning that once it's cured, it's gonna just be smooth and not sticky. If I have little rhinestones like this, I do usually just go over them, but if I have larger pieces, I do tend to just go around. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. As you can see, it's super easy to use your Cricut to do your nails. I was going for a dark versus girly look, and so I have one hand with pink and Hello Kitty and my other hand with black and Kuromi. And so just please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and also head over to my Instagram and my TikTok for a lot more pictures and videos of my work. And just thank you so much for watching.